What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of the Ring Show. You have your host,
Sabrina, and you have your host.
And on today's episode, our guest is not here yet.
Yeah, sorry guys. I will tell you straight out, Harley and I were like dying of laughter right before the podcast started, so that's why you got to late.
Okay, it's Miss Sabrina's birthday, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I am now the fresh age of 30, apparently, to Harley.
I totally forgot I filmed that, but it's okay. You know, right after the podcast, I was like, shit, gotta do it now. But
Oh.
Sabrina, do you want to welcome? Well, I'm going to get back because he just disappeared, but...
Oh, no.
You can...
Oh, he's back. Oh.
Take the stand.
Oh, you want me to take the stand? Okay. So today, I want to try to do better than yesterday. Today, we have one of the best wrestlers in Smash Wrestling and UCW, Mr. Luca.
Showtime, baby. Thanks for having me, guys. Happy birthday, Sabrina.
Thank you. I'm now 30 years old, apparently, to Harley. You're not going to live this down, Harley.
I mean, you're older than 25, right? So you might as well.
I'm 27, yeah, so I might as well at this point. It all goes downhill at this point, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on. You were one on, I can't speak today. You were on my list because I was like, he's always so quiet. Like, I don't think I've actually spoken to you until UCW. Like, I've seen you at Smash, but like, conversation-wise, I don't think we've ever like spoken. So I was like, I have to have him on our podcast because I've seen you in the ring. You're pretty badass. So
I'm all right.
He says I'm all right. I can't. But how are you today? Are you doing good?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Harley, how are you doing? Please speak today, because yesterday I was like a little worried about you.
I am doing great today. It's your birthday. I got to post all your exciting pictures. I have more to come. I should post more of you.
Can I just, before we start this interview, can I just say I don't really like the one video that you had me like literally screaming for Andretti, because like I didn't know you took that one photo and I was like, oh god, I look really weird in that photo.
I got a lot where that came from.
It shows my goofy side for sure. But we're gonna just like jump right into it. What got you into wrestling?
I've always been a fan. Despite my parents trying as hard as possible to not let me be a fan. Not let me be a fan, but they certainly didn't support my enjoyment of pro wrestling. But I've always been a fan since I was a kid. One day an opportunity arose to step into the ring and take a shot at it, and I jumped at it. It was something I always thought that I was maybe too small, or maybe this, that, or whatever it was, or it was stupid, you know what I mean? But when I finally got an opportunity to step foot in the ring, I seized that opportunity, and ever since then I haven't looked back. It's been a good couple of years. We got a couple more years to go, but yeah, I've always been a huge fan. I started with WWE and Ring of Honor. I love it all.
It's funny, he said only a few years left. Are you trying to say you're gonna quit soon? Like, what's happening here?
No, but
Nasty, we don't know.
Right? I don't know. Like with your rivalry against Massey, maybe only a few years is left. We don't know.
I mean, if I keep stepping foot in the ring with Massey, that might be another story, but I'd really prefer not.
Was that your first dog collar match, by the way?
It absolutely was, and God willing, it will be my last.
So how was that experience? I have to ask. Yes, I was there, but like I wasn't in the ring, so I don't know like what it felt like.
So just imagine being attached to somebody twice your size who literally wants to kill you by a chain. And there's pretty much nowhere you can go. I mean, that's about as worst case scenario as you can go. So I don't know if I need to go any further than that. I mean, he beat the crap out of me.
I mean, yeah, he did. We got to see that firsthand, and I was like, dang. I think what's weird about that was we were behind the scenes, so we kind of knew like what was going to happen, and I was like, I don't know if I like this or not, because like I was a huge fan of you, and I still am. I shouldn't say was. That's rude. So like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I gotta interview Massey. Luca's gonna be like still in the chain. I don't know what's happening. But no, it was a good time. Harley, you want to ask the next question?
Yeah, so I guess. So who like trained you?
I was initially trained by Tigre Vulcan at Northeast Signatures Wrestling in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Shortly thereafter, COVID hit. Some things changed, but I spent COVID for a little while, honestly, in the ring by myself because everybody was afraid to come out of their houses and come train, which I was just getting into wrestling, so I wasn't really willing to give it up so quickly. So for a little bit there, I was using what I had learned in the short amount of time that I was training to wrestle the Invisible Man while I was by myself. And I swear to you, the man that owned the gym probably was watching his cameras and wondering what the hell I was doing, but I was doing what I could at that time to improve, and that was the only way that I can do it. And then after a little while, a guy named Draven Blaze hit me up, and he heard that I had been training, and he wanted to come by the gym. Figured we could put in some work. You know, he's a 20-year vet of the business. He could teach me a few things. So yeah, it took off from there. So it was, you know, a combination of Tigre Vulcan, Draven Blaze kind of finished me up. I've done seminars with Jonathan Gresham, Ace Austin, D'Lo Brown. I've picked up a little bit here and there.
And so obviously the training styles are different, like with each of them as well. So you're like picking up from each and every one of them.
Oh, absolutely. Tigre Vulcan and Draven Blaze are completely different style wrestlers, teachers, people in general. They're just completely on opposite ends of the spectrum, which was good and beneficial to me, I think, because it gave me an opportunity to learn some different things, some different ways that everybody does them, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And then during COVID, you said you were like fighting yourself. Who won these matches?
Usually the Invisible Man. Nothing changed. I still lost.
Got it. I was trying to think before like the podcast if I've ever seen you actually like win. And you were with Aaron Roxas the last time at the I saw you at Smash, and you did not win that match at all. So I got to see you win, Luca. Come on.
I am the reigning defending Frontier Pro Wrestling champion. I'm just saying. So like on occasion I do win matches. Like I said, I'm all right. You know, I have my ways about me. I think me and Aaron Roxas, the last time we teamed in Smash, we did actually win. We beat the Outfielders. Just saying. Just throwing that.
I was not at that one. Was not. All I remember is the first time I met you. I'll tell you, you didn't obviously realize it was the first time we met, but first time I met you was an intermission at Smash Wrestling, and I was talking to Mr. MIT because I know his friend Cam. So I was like talking like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Aaron decided to throw a Sharpie like right in front of me to Mr. MIT, and you were standing right next to him, and I was like, "Are you just gonna let him throw the Sharpie at me?" And you're like, and I was like, that was the first time I ever met you. And I was like, he's a quiet one.
I only vaguely remember that. I absolutely did not remember you being there, but I definitely remember us throwing a marker back at MIT.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, I think that's the first time I actually met you. Yeah, no, that's my fault. I change my hair color every day. So that's my problem.
I don't mess with my hair too much.
Clearly. Yeah, no. You don't like put a wig on or something and just,
Oh no. Okay. Luca doesn't look good with long hair.
Harley's just dying of laughter. Yesterday in today's podcast, Harley's like, let me get some popcorn now and just watch this. Because like yesterday we had Brian Morris and him and I were just going at each other's throats. Like I would give it to him, he'd give it right back. And I'm like, Harley just sitting there going, what's going to happen now? But if you could pick any dream venue or dream opponent to go against, where or who would it be?
I would absolutely love to work in Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. Ideal dream opponent, probably one of my biggest inspirations in ring and current favorites is Bryan Danielson. So Bryan Danielson and Hammerstein, it doesn't really get much better than that.
There you go. And then that would be Luca's retiring match. I reached the top. There's no going up from here. Harley, now we've seen Luca wrestle. If you could see him go against anybody, because I know you're going to say this person because you say it every time we ask this question, who would it be, Harley?
Oh, I don't know. I know you're expecting me to say Johnny Moran. I do hate that man. But not today am I going to be saying Johnny Moran. I think one of our PPW stars like Nolan Pierce. I think they work, or even Andretti, they would work great.
How does Andretti get every podcast?
Because
he's Action Andretti. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Well, I would love to work to face Action Andretti. Absolutely. He's an amazing talent. He forces you to up your game in ways that a lot of guys are incapable of doing. Point blank. He's just a game changer, and he's huge on AEW now. Nolan Pierce is a young up and comer too. I'd love to share the ring with him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like Sabrina was gonna point out. I don't care. You can go and beat the shit out of Johnny Moran because do I hate that man? I hate that man. So if you,
I don't think hate's a good word. I think despise would be a better term for that.
Every hate word, I'll tell him to his face. Be like, I hate you.
Your dad thinks that he should go against Encore because he's in the chat.
Encore is good. I really enjoy him. I've worked a couple shows with him. I definitely love to step inside the ring with him. That's a guy you got to keep your eye on. He's legit.
He's definitely gonna go places. Harley and I like to, look at the wrestlers and say like, oh, we can see them going really far. And I think I called that from day one with her. I said Andretti's going to be something big, and now he's in AEW, but
he's pretty big.
Yeah, just a little bit. But no, speaking of AEW, Harley, do you want to lead into that question?
So would you choose, like, if you got a phone call from AEW and WWE, which one would you take?
So I'm gonna be upfront with you and say that as far as just the general show goes and what they put out there, I enjoy WWE more. But as a man with 3 kids who would prefer not to be away from his family too often, AEW's schedule and how they do things would certainly fit better for me. Just WWE, the demands, the touring, it's a little more. And I don't think I could do it at this point in my life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel that. Well, I don't feel that. I don't have kids. But I feel like the whole being like away from your family, like I get it. Your dad also said Griffin. I think he's thinking to Griffin McCoy. I think is what he's.
I think that would be a great match too. Because Griffin, he's kind of like a high flyer in a way. He does some crazy moves.
He's very also like you never know what he's gonna do when he's gonna get to the ring. Because like I was trying to figure out replay it in my head of like what he does in the ring, but I can't. He surprises me every time he comes to the ring. For sure. You know what? Facade. We're just gonna put that out there. I think because Facade's a high flyer as well. Neon Ninja. Anybody who I think you'd good with anybody, but these are just some of our favorites. And Harley loves Facade.
Oh yeah, as much as John Morant. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that why she's over there?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of names on here that when we drop them, we're like, they're not bad. Like mine's Tim Theory, hers is Johnny Moran. Like any of those 2 names, go against them, we will root for you 100%. However, I mean, I think you're more of the heel, but would you prefer to be a babyface or a heel?
I absolutely prefer to be a heel, but that said, I have never really gotten the opportunity to do a lot as a good guy, as a face. So I would certainly like the challenge. Honestly, it would be something different for me, a different change of pace, something more challenging that I would have to figure out a way to make it work. Because I think for the most part, I'm not great by any means, but for the most part, as far as being a basic heel goes, I've got that down. Working as a face is a completely different story, and I would welcome the challenge.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could see you as a face. I mean, I've only seen you wrestle at UCW, so I don't have much room to talk. Mm-hmm. But you look like you have a punchable face, so I mean,
I get that a lot.
Damn. We're just.
I mean that in a good way.
It's getting deep in here.
You can't hurt my feelings. I get that a lot. I have a punchable face. I'm okay with it. It's not my fault I look so good.
Harley, do you not remember yesterday when I said I think I met the male version of myself? This is another version of the male version of myself.
Yeah, I love Brian Morris, so that's fantastic. He was the former, well, he didn't lose it, but he's the former 1CW Cruiserweight Champion. And your boy is going to be contending for that Cruiserweight Championship at 1CW on March 11th. So maybe I'll be the next. 1CW Cruiserweight Champion.
He definitely talked good about you yesterday. He's like, I'll be watching the podcast tomorrow. He's like, I love Luca. Luca's my boy. So like, Brian, if you're seeing this, here's your boy. Ask him anything.
Reciprocate. We got love for each other.
Now, I gotta ask, how did you become teammates with Mr. Aaron Roxas?
It was just a similar business interest, quite frankly. We're business partners, pure and simple. I wouldn't call us friends by any means. We're not people who outside of business would associate because, quite frankly, he's pretty weird. But
we get that a lot.
We had similar things that we needed to accomplish, similar things that we wanted to achieve. And we decided that those things can be accomplished best when we're working together. Thus, the associates.
I had to ask. It was a burning question in me because I was like, when I saw you guys come out together, I was like, this is a weird fit because like I know Aaron also outside the ring too, so it's like I know how he is, and so I was like, well, that's an interesting pair up.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, on the surface, we're polar opposites. He's a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Harley. Harley's dad is a huge Giants fan.
That's what I'm talking about.
So at least he knows where the good teams
go
at.
Chiefs this Sunday then.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I despise the Eagles with a burning passion.
The Chiefs are my team.
I'm sorry, Harley. I just don't like the Eagles, so I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Put it this way: I rooted for the Patriots a couple years ago when they played. Because I thought one more ring for Brady would hurt less than the Eagles getting one. You know what I mean? But
Harley, don't you dare say anything about that. I'm a huge Patriots fan. She knows. She knows I'm a huge Patriots fan. I
gotta go.
Get out of here, Luca. No, I will explain myself. My dad is a Miami Dolphins fan. So growing up, I had to go against him somehow. And really to cut deep, it was the Patriots. So there's definitely a fight when I go down to that house to watch football.
I can only imagine.
Sure. Oh, because me and my dad are like the one and the same. I'm hot-headed, he's hot-headed. So it's like it gets heated fast. Gavin is in the chat, Mr. Little Gavin. That we know and we love. He said, happy birthday, Miss Ab. Thank you, Gavin. I also saw your comment on my picture, so I appreciate it so much. And he said hi to Luca. I'm just glad I was before Luca. That's all I had to say. Thank you, Gavin.
Damn. You're so mean.
Listen, I just have to do what I gotta do. Harley, when you get a chance, then you can ask the next question.
The Pats do so.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, let's get away from football and back into wrestling. So, do you sell?
Sorry, no, keep going. I was speaking.
So, do you sell any merch? And if so, where can people find it?
I have a bunch of T-shirts. I think I still have some masks, sweatshirts, hoodies on Teespring. I believe you can find my site on my Instagram. It should be linked right on there. I also have T-shirts that I have with me at every show, as well as buttons and 8x10s.
Dang, he's got it all.
I do better, but the buttons are legit. I highly recommend them.
Now, I always like to ask this question. I haven't asked this question in a while. But do you design your own T-shirts, or do you have someone do it for you?
So the logo that is on my buttons, I actually had somebody else design. But every other logo or graphic that I have on my shirts, I design those myself.
Okay.
I'm not super graphically inclined, so I wanted something specific. The buttons, they came out perfect. So the person who I had do it, he nailed it.
You mean you could have just had a stick figure, because that'd be mine. That'd be my shirt. Just stick figure. That's it.
No, honestly, that's what we should do, Sabrina. We should make 2 stick figures with a little hair, and then that could be our new logo. I mean, you're always telling people to do that, so why don't we?
I want it now. Get some stickers made up.
We have stickers. We just didn't give them out. We were so busy. We brought them with us at UCW, and we're gonna hand them out. And we were just so caught up in everything that we just totally forgot to give out stickers. We do have stickers though, but her and I look totally different in that picture. Pink hair, red hair. Did you have red hair at the time?
Does she still have purple hair now?
She
Yep.
does. Yes. Yeah.
Not with the blue, but yes. So do you think there's going to be a time where you're like, okay, this is it, I'm done wrestling? Or is it more like going to be an injury type of thing?
No, there will absolutely be a time where I decide that it's time to hang up the boots, call it quits as far as in-ring wrestling goes. But I have other aspirations and things that I would like to do outside of the ring as far as wrestling is concerned. I'm already exploring those things, but I'll be able to dive more so headfirst into those things, certainly when I decide that I've had enough of get my ass handed to me in the ring.
I mean, hey, absolutely. And like, I mean, do you think that with you have kids, like, so do you think your kids would want to like maybe grow up and be like, I want to do what daddy's doing?
Oh,
and like, would that be something that you'd be like, yeah, I'd get behind that 100%?
I could definitely see them being interested in it. They're interested in it now. They beat the crap out of me every day. They always want, Daddy, you want to wrestle? Is what my son, he always says to me, and I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm not going to take it easy on you. But they enjoy coming to shows. They enjoy watching me. Sometimes my wife doesn't love how much of a bad guy I guess I can be because, you know, they're watching me. But I could certainly see them growing up and potentially wanting to do that. I would support them as long as they're getting trained by somebody who's going to prepare them properly to step foot in the ring and be safe and be smart about it and still get an education and prioritizing getting their life in order before they jump into wrestling. I would support them.
I couldn't even imagine like seeing Daddy being such an asshole in the ring. Like I'd be like, he wasn't like this morning. Like,
just because I do that doesn't mean that you can do that.
Right. And like, I mean, I know that a few wrestlers that have kids like Mr. MIT, and like I know that he's told me many times, like, I got calls from my kid's school saying that my kid decided to like punch somebody today.
I haven't gotten those.
I mean, it's crazy because like you don't notice it, but like they look up to you so much. It's like one day they're gonna be like, well, Daddy kicked some guy in the face.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna do it. Like, crazy.
That's literally how it is. I texted Serena. I was like, this man has kids? Because I thought you were like so young. Like, he has kids?
I'm not as young as I look.
Definitely.
Nobody needs to know that though.
You're probably like 50 and you look like you're 21.
What's that?
You're probably 50, but you look like you're 21.
Oh, I'm not 50, but I feel like I am.
That's Masty, Harley. Come on, no.
My bad.
Masty's 40, but yeah.
he's told us that he feels like he's 50 a lot too. So it's like it all depends on how you feel. Like I think that's also another thing of like that goes into your wrestling is like when's the time to quit is like your body should be telling you like, hey.
And I mean, I'm sure we'll ignore it for a while, but your body will tell you. I imagine your body will be telling you that it's like enough is enough.
Oh yeah, your body just knows. Harley, do you have other questions? You know I don't ever come prepared to these things.
I was just gonna check the chat. Let's see. My dad goes and says he should wrestle Chris Slade.
Yo, I love Chris Slade. I would be all about that.
I think we both would work great together just because you're kind of like the same height.
Yep.
And Chris Slade is a badass when he wants to be.
I prefer him as a heel.
I prefer a lot of guys as heels. Like it's just listen, we all know we're gonna go through this. I'm the heel of this podcast, and you are the baby face. We've gone over this.
You're the heel of this? There's no way.
I don't know. Have you watched our other podcasts?
Completely sarcastic.
Right?
But and your dad said he's. Oh, I was looking at the one above that.
You ain't passing stickers out. I would leave them everywhere, right? Just put one on each seat. Be like, one for you, one for you.
It's a way to get your name out there.
Yeah, it is. But then it's also like I see my face on that sticker, and I don't like the way I look in that photo.
It's nice, but it's just we don't look like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like we both have different faces now.
Plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery. We changed our hair, our face, everything.
Everything. And also your dad said, I'm looking to make the girls another logo for the podcast. At one point, there was a lot of logos going on. It's hard to come up with a logo, especially because like her and I have like a little bit of different personalities and like different colors schemes that we like sometimes. So I just kind of go along with it. Like she'll show me things. I'm like, that's cute. I like it. Like I'm the going along person. I'll just go, okay. I did my best to make the stickers. Sorry, gosh. Oh my god, it's fine, Brandon. We're just joking. I think that we just need a little bit of an updated photo. Love me and Harley. Just a little one. Maybe me and us and Gavin. That'd be cute.
Yeah, right. We could turn Gavin into our logo. I think we got a lot of good pictures from UCW though. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but
no pictures with Luca. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Luca, listen, you were late. I could not find you. Sorry. We didn't take any pictures of the wrestlers at UCW. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yes, you did. Stop lying.
Yeah, I did with Skylar, Mr. Ruda, and Joey. Yeah, sorry, Luca, that was me.
Damn.
I forgot. Okay, y'all do yin and yang and light versus dark. That's true. We are like light and dark. Sometimes it gets a little too dark over on this side of the camera. Okay, guys.
But back on the wrestling topic, where can people find you? Like shows, social
media.
You can find me at Showtime Mancini on Twitter, on Instagram. Look up Luca Mancini on Facebook. You can find me there. I don't do TikTok or Snapchat or any of that stuff.
Come on, you're a dad. Come on, you should be doing this stuff.
No, God, no.
But is there any upcoming shows that people can also find you at?
This Saturday, I'll be at High Grounds up in Mayfield for a Adina Steele and Philly Mike benefit show.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, this Saturday night. I've got 1CW coming up in March, Smash Master coming up in March. I've got UCW coming back up in March, and March 19th, I believe UCW is.
I think. Yes, Harley? Yes?
Oh, High Tension in Philadelphia on March 18th. So a lot of stuff coming up in March.
I think March is going to be as stressful as January for us. We were like, okay, so we got a show this weekend, we got a show that weekend, and now...
memorizing our lines for UCW, that was...
Back to March, here we go.
Great.
We got UCW, I want to try to go to a Smash...
Could you try again?
Siri's in a real pain. I am so tired of her. She freaking calls people. I'm like, yo, I'm not even.
I thought you broke up with Siri yesterday.
I know. So did I.
They're back together.
Yeah, we're back together.
God, okay. No, but like Harley said, we definitely are going to try to go to a lot of more Smash. I mean, I think I've talked very highly with Harley about Smash. Like, we got to go check this out. Like, I think I checked it out. The one time. I was like, Harley, this is a thing we gotta do. Like, there's a lot more wrestlers out there that we don't even know about. It's definitely a different dynamic.
Yeah, Smash Master is a completely different vibe. It's honestly, it's a revolution in the 570 and NEPA, the wrestling scene. I think it's just completely rejuvenated the scene, and it's must watch. So as many people who haven't seen it yet, they need to come out to a Smash Master show. Like, you need to come out on March 5th. Come see Smash Master. See what the hype's all about, because these shows, every match, all the talent on the shows, they just constantly deliver. What Masty is doing with those shows is fantastic, and I'm honored to be a part of it, honestly.
My first show at Smash was, oh God, Harley, you're gonna hate me. Was actually the one where Mr. Johnny Moran got the dog collar match against the other guy, and I sat there because I went there because Johnny was like, come check it out, like, cool. It's like, all right. Sat there, that was the one thing I saw, and I'm like, this is not PPW at all. Like, it's not what you expect. There's free reign. They can be flying out in the ringside and come right by your feet, whereas like PPW, we have like a fence between us and the ring, so like that doesn't happen. So it's definitely a different dynamic. I enjoyed it a lot, and that's why I just kept coming back. And it's nice because a lot of the ones that Massey was telling us is like are from that area, like, because he's trying to keep it there. And it's like, I think that's a great idea, not bringing people in from like, not that the people from New York are bad, just but like it's just nice to have locals there so that kids can be like, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's building up the local scene, honestly. And so he's giving you a look at the stars from 570 and giving them a platform while also peppering in a few guys, like a Jay Bougie, who you may not usually see at an NEPA show. And giving just everybody a full course meal, honestly. Like, it's just, the shows are fantastic. That's all I could say. It's great to be here.
And like Massey, we had Massey on a little while ago, and he was just like, his favorite thing is creating the storyline. And I think that's another thing that you have to incorporate in indie wrestling is a storyline to go along with it. Like, because if you just like show up, because like how many times, Harley, have we showed up at PPW, there's no storyline, but these people are facing each other. It's like, I love the storylines, especially like, I think it was a few months for a while. It was Mr. MIT going against, God, what was his name? That little, yes. And so like they would go back and forth, like social media posts about each other. And so that was interesting. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen this time in the match. So that gets people excited. I think that like the storyline really helps out. I mean, I haven't seen too many promo videos from you, but I've seen it from you, the associates, Aaron Roxas, and like his are just a little dark and creepy. So
he scares me. Like, he's tall and he's weird. Like, at UCW, I looked at him and I was like, why is this man wearing a black suit? And I was like, I'm okay. I'd rather not talk to him. And then he looked at me and I was like, that's Sabrina. Just talk to Sabrina. She's a nice one in this one. But
it's probably in your best interest that you don't talk to him.
Yeah, he scares me.
Well, he's best friends with your best friend. So.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So we're not going to even have him on our podcast because,
Oh my God, that would be such a great episode. So I could just talk shit on freaking Johnny Moran and be like, this is what I hate about your best friend. And that'll be such a great episode.
She's already planning this episode at this point. She's like, because there's been so many times, Luca, that we're like, right, that we should get like Johnny Moran on and just like start bashing it. Like I said to her, I was like, we should just have him on so you can get all of your hatred out.
Because we had him afterwards.
We had Tim Theory on.
But he's not that bad. He's not that bad of a person.
Don't ask me for a hug in the middle of a match. That's my thing.
It's not even that bad.
He literally came up to me my first time ever coming back to wrestling, because like I did take some time off and I wasn't going to any indie wrestling shows. My first time back, I sat down at PPW and I was with one of my friends, Shawnee, at the time, and Tim Theory came out with his hair down and he was in the middle of a match. And he comes over to me and he goes, do you want a hug? Like with his hair all the way down. I was like, And everyone knows like Sabrina's not a hugger. So like, I was like, no, thank you. I'm okay. And then there was another time he threw his fishnet shirt at me. So we are not talking. Him and I are not friends. I'm not a hugger. It's just me. I don't know. It's just not me. But that's just me.
Anyways, back on the subject of wrestling, this is a question we haven't asked.
That was wrestling.
This is something we haven't asked for a while, but what would you say is like the hardest part about wrestling?
Honestly, for me, being somebody who you've both kind of commented that I am more of a quiet person, honestly. Just getting out there, stepping out in the lights and performing. Once I'm out there, we're good to go. But me actually motivating myself to get out there and do it, it's like torture. Obviously, I love it enough to put myself through it, but that is absolutely the toughest part for me, is actually getting myself to step out there and go for it. But once you're there, you kind of have no choice. So
yeah,
you're kind of out there. You have to put on a show.
Yep.
But before you step out into that ring, we asked this question yesterday. I actually really liked it. Do you have any like pre rituals before walking out there? Like, do you like do a little, nervous dance? I don't know what you do.
I don't think I do anything specific, any kind of particular routine. I'm usually just in my head pacing as we're getting ready to go out there, trying to put myself in the proper character space, in the proper headspace, because I do usually play heel. I got to get myself in a place where I'm going to be an absolute jerk off. So that's mostly what I do.
Now, I haven't heard any comebacks from you when I'm in like the fan setting, but like, do you like talk back to the fans, or do you just ignore them like they're not there?
No, I'll absolutely talk back to them. Depends upon what they say to me, what I'll say back. I don't think I've ever said anything too cruel by any means, but I'll get into it, fans, if I have to. Frontier Pro Wrestling is honestly, that's like kind of my home. It's literally like 10 minutes down the road. That's where I'm most comfortable. And so some of those people are my people, even though they hate me. So we'll get into it because they hate me down there.
So isn't that where Ricky Price wrestles, right?
Yes.
Frontier? So have you ever went like against him, or would you like to face him?
I would love to face Ricky Price. I have not had the privilege to step foot in the ring with Ricky Price yet and punch him in the face. But I look forward to that opportunity, which will happen on March 5th at Smash Master Wrestling.
There you go.
Guess we're going to have to go to Smash.
It looks like I got to take another weekend off of work. It's fine. Let's see.
Yeah, we have a question that just popped up from Gavin.
Gavin says, Mr. Luca, can you talk about what it was like at the
Kalahari Comic Con show, and what were some of your favorite memories of that day?
Oh man, Colossal Con's crazy. If you guys have never been to like a Comic Con or an anime convention of any sort, when Colossal Con comes this year, I'm going to be a little biased because I'm going to be there for Frontier Pro Wrestling, but I highly recommend grabbing some tickets and getting over there because it's just an absolute experience. There's some things to see and interesting people and lots going on. It's a perfect people watching event for sure. It's definitely outside my realm because I'm not an anime guy by any means. I mean, I like DC Comics, but I don't really go much further than Batman and Superman. But what they got going on there is interesting, and it's an interesting group of people, and it's a very cool event. It was a lot of fun. That show with that crowd, we had 500, 550 people at one point in the room. It was wild. And they were eating up everything, which is really cool because they probably weren't all wrestling fans, but they were all about the show. So it was a lot of fun to be there. It was a lot of fun. Me and Aaron Roxas faced Blue and Gold, Matt Turner, and Andy Heder. We put on a pretty good match, I think. Unfortunately, myself and Roxas did come out on the losing end, but that's because of extracurriculars and just some bull. Let's leave it there. However, it was a good time.
Tell us how you really feel about that one.
Some kind of anime Dragon Ball Z character got involved in our match when we had that thing wrapped up, and it was not fair. All I know is I'm pretty sure I got punched in my throat.
Now, I don't know, because I know some heels are like this, but when after you did your match and you come out to just like sell your merch or whatever, and a fan comes up to you and is like, hey, can I get a picture with you? Like, they're really nice. Are you going to be nice back, or are you still going to be in your character?
Oh, no, I stay in character. I'll take the picture. I won't be thrilled about it. I'd prefer you buy some merch, though, if you're going to harass me.
That's kind of how it was. Like, we had these two on. They were Lucius Crow and Phil Insane. Like, nobody usually ever comes on in character, and like, I love them. They are they're nice, but
they're nice off camera.
Kind of.
I'm familiar.
Kind of. To us, anyways. But they came on in character, and me and Serena were like, it's getting heated in here. They were talking about breaking people. I was like, damn, okay.
I was just scared. Like, that's creepy with the pig mask behind you.
Yeah, the one was in a freaking dark room with a pig mask, like right there. I was like, you could have came on like completely in a bright room. That's fine.
In a bright room.
But
I respect the hustle.
As Luca's sitting there like with like a complete white background, he's like, I am not in a dark room today.
Luca doesn't do dark. That's not my game.
But no, like, I mean, Harley and I said this many times. We definitely love the aspect of independence wrestling because like we can get to know you guys, and that's like one of the main reasons we decided to start this podcast. Is like we want to know like where you guys came from, like how you guys got into this. Like some guys was like were like, yeah, I just woke up one day and this is what I wanted to do, and then some of them are like, I saw The Undertaker perform and like that was my inspiration. So it's like it's really exciting to see that because, like, if you go to do a WWE show or AEW, you're not going to have that one-on-one time with the wrestler. You're not going to have, like, that personal time to be like, hey, let me get a picture. Like, how you been? Like, how, how's life? Whereas, like, these independent shows, it's like, hey, how you doing? You get to know your fans a little bit. So it's like, I think that's one of the upsides of indie wrestling, and then it's one of the downsides of WWE.
Yeah, I always try to tell people when I'm trying to sell people on coming out to shows that aren't wrestling fans. Like when you go to a WWE show, a live show, it's enjoyable, it's entertaining because like you're seeing the guys that you see on TV, and it's pretty cool. Especially a live event that's not a TV event is much more enjoyable because they're a little more free reign in terms of what they can do. But there's nothing like an indie wrestling show. There's just not. You're not going to get that form of entertainment anywhere else. You're not going to get that form of entertainment in a WWE show. The interaction, the intimacy, and the closeness that you're having with these competitors as they step foot inside the ring, you won't get that at a major show like that. You're not, like you said, you're never going to get that at a WWE show. But indie wrestling provides that to you, where you can feel like you're part of the action, you're part of the show, and you can get invested in those characters and those stories, and they matter to you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Harley and I definitely get into the characters. And like you said though, like you have Frontier, which is your people, and you yell at them, they yell back, like it's a good interaction. And that's how it is kind of like with us at PPW, is like we could say something to a wrestler and they know who we are, and they're like they'll spit it right back. And I'm like, okay, well, you didn't have to be that quick to say something, but like like I mean, we don't say anything offensive.
It depends on the person.
It
depends on the person.
Okay.
But Johnny Moran,
yeah.
I will say whatever I feel like to that man. But
there was a time that I was body shamed a guy by accident. Wasn't trying to.
And he lost like 25 pounds the next show.
By the next show, yeah. The next show he came out and he lost weight, and I was like, did I do this? He's like, no. He's like, I was on a steroid. He's like, he's like, I just gained a lot of weight. It wasn't you. I was like, but man, that made me feel so bad.
It was.
Like, so it's kind of like you have your people, what you can say to that fan, because then they won't get offended. Like, I mean, Rembrandt with her, like, he hates everybody else in the crowd, but once he sees Harley, he's like, hey girl, and then he goes off on the thing. So I mean, it's definitely the intimacy that we love, and like getting to know them. And then like Christmas, we all got cards from a lot of them from PPW, so it's like definitely interesting. It's an interesting industry. Wow, it's been a day, guys. It's been a day.
Well, you're 30 now, so it's all right. You're allowed to lose some.
Yeah, get my walker. I gotta go. Like, well, it was with my birthday being today, and like one of the main things that went into having you on is Harley and I said, okay, for the 2 days that our podcasts are, so like mine is the 8th and the 9th, and hers is later on this month, that she can choose whoever she wants to be on the podcast. When I was choosing you and Brian, I realized that both of you guys are heels.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh crap. It's not what I planned on, but just the dynamic that you guys, the vibes that you guys bring to the ring, and like the differences of heels. Like, you're more of like, yeah, I'm an asshole, but I don't have to be in a dark room to be an asshole. And then there's Lucius Crow, Pill Insane. It's like in a dark room with a pig mask there. Like, it's definitely a different dynamic. We did not know what to expect when having people on our show, for sure. We were like, are they going to be like in this nice area? Are they going to be like dark room? Are they going to be in character? Like, we never actually discussed if the people should be in character or not. So I'm glad that you came on not in character.
That kind of would have been fun though, after last night.
What do you mean after last night?
You and whatever his face was called, Brian.
Oh yeah, we were going at each other's throats last night.
It was
like, tonight is a walk in the park compared to last night.
Yeah, last night we were being so mean, and he was giving you it back. I was like, damn,
Yeah,
I don't even have to say anything. I could just sit here and watch for once.
Popcorn.
Oh yeah, for sure. She texted me right in the beginning of the chat, right? Because he was in a dark room. She goes, he looks like a psycho. And I was like,
is he a serial killer? Is he
and
gonna
then
kill us?
he
No,
must
that's
have gotten closer to the camera, and she was.
I was like, he's not. I was like, he's not even that bad. Like, he's actually like really nice. Cause I told him that. He was like, wow, rude. I'm like, no, I mean that in a good way, kind of.
I'm waiting for the response because I gave him like the world's worst introduction yesterday. I was like, and here's Brian. And he was like, well, you could have been at least a little bit more like in depth. That's why tonight today I was like, well, let's try it. So I'm just waiting for the response. I don't know. But if you could see any wrestler, I'm gonna leave this up to Luca. If you could see any wrestler on our podcast, who would it be?
That's a good question. I thoroughly enjoy the boys from Pure Ignorance. I think they definitely are people who need to have more of a platform for what they bring to the table. I'd enjoy seeing them on the show.
Okay, yeah. Pure Ignorance. I gotta let me put that in my notes real quick.
Don't put it in her notes.
Wait a minute. That sounds like it was in my script. That's why. Never mind. I was like, weren't they there? And I was like, no, they're.
They were not. They were not at the last UCW
because they're gonna be at the next one.
Yep.
Got it. Never mind, guys. I'm having a blonde moment. Sorry. But no, yeah, we definitely like with this UCW, we're getting to know different wrestlers. So it's like nice because even though like we're not like marketing, no, we're not planning podcasts at the show. Like we'll hit them up afterwards. Like you, I think I hit up afterwards, and I was like, hey, we like you on our podcast. Because I'm too nervous. I'll talk for myself. I'm too nervous to walk up to y'all and be like, hey, so we have a podcast and we would really like you to be on it. Like it's awkward. I don't know where Harley just went, but
you just lost Harley.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, but no, like it's awkward for us to be like coming up to you guys because like kind of putting you guys on the spot right then and there, being like, crap, I gotta come up with a date. Where it's like if we do it through Instagram, it's kind of like we're working on your schedule. Are you okay?
Yeah, I died for a second.
I was worried. I was like, oh no, she died.
I died. I'm alive again.
But I think because we did that with one person, we did that with South Philly's Finest, where we like put them on our podcast like right then and there. And then I was like thinking back, going, they just had to pick a date like right then and there, and they don't even know their own schedule, like. So I mean, it's definitely a different experience being with UCW. I can tell you straight out. Getting to know you guys behind the scenes, especially. Luca's like the shyest person behind the scenes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. Like he's loud. Like I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, he's obnoxious. He was dancing on tables, guys.
Yeah.
We had to settle down. We had to get his kids to come in, like tame him, you know. So you're also a title winner.
Yes.
You're holding the title. Who did you go against to win this title?
I faced Skylar Kincaid at the most recent Frontier Pro Wrestling show, back in October.
Yep, that's another one. I don't hate that man, but he really enjoys Sabrina's company. No, he's nice, but
I will say when I first met,
looks best on his back when I'm holding a title over his head.
Yeah, oh for sure. No, when I first met him, he kind of like gave me the vibe that you give me behind the scenes, like very quiet, very like shy, and then when he's in the ring, like the character the vibe that you guys bring to the ring. First of all, you just bring like this. I can kick anybody's butt. I don't care. I'm taking names and I'm gonna whoop every single one of them. Whereas Skylar has like this weirdly weird like voice. He's like, who's ready? I can't even do it. Who's ready? And like he just looks like he's like a dog coming out of like the yes, I just called him a dog coming out of like the curtain. So it's like the vibes that you guys bring out. Like I think that's setting the tone for what the match is going to be like.
Right.
Like, I don't know about UCW because I didn't see your entrance, but when you refused to put that dog collar on at first, I was like, Luca, you're going to put that on and you're going to like it.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I've already beaten Masty. Just to clarify, I had already beaten Masty.
He told me you never beat him.
I should not have had to face him.
Damn.
And the fact that I was forced to wear a dog collar with that animal, offensive.
But you did. He held you down. We all saw it. We have footage. I have footage of it.
I saw the footage. We're good. I don't need to see it.
No need to bring the evidence.
I lived it. I was there.
Yes, yeah. We lived it too. It's just we weren't in the dog collar. We were just watching you flail around. But like, you know, we never know when we were giving these interviews. A lot of the wrestlers, the opponents, would like come out of the ring and go in the back, whereas like in the video, I saw myself interviewing Masty. Harley saw it, and I was like, "You finally beat Luca," and I forgot that you were still in the ring. And I was like, "Oh, he is still in the ring." Like I pointed to the ring, like Luca wasn't there. I was like, "Yeah, you beat Luca right in here, and you were still there, just laying there, dead. You were dead."
Close enough.
Harley, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. Do you have anything else?
Me, Luca?
Yeah. Do you have any questions for us, Luca?
I didn't come packed with any questions, so no, I don't think I have any questions off the top of my head. You know what? What got you guys? Each of you can answer separately. What got you guys into pro wrestling?
Harley, do you want me to go first since you went first yesterday?
Go for it.
I got into wrestling. My dad took me to a indie wrestling show, and it was, oh God, when I was 14 years old, and it was with Winthrop, like the British guy, and South Philly's Finest with Jimmy Conway, and so many people. And I remember looking at it because like I still am. I'm a girly girl. But like when I went there, I was like, oh my God, I actually like this. Like this is so exciting. And then I followed it for a little while and got out of it, personal reasons. And now I'm back into it starting in April because Jimmy Conway got me back. I know that's another one of your favorite people, Harley.
Oh, I hate that man just as much.
Jimmy Conway got me back into it. He kept saying, come on, Sabrina, come to PPW. It's like not that far from you. Like, come on, like let's just try it out. And I was like, fine. So I went there and ended up falling in love with it. And now that's where I am.
And that's where she met me. I guess I'll just include that detail. I was just there, you know.
You were there. You're like, hey, I'm gonna put my massive posters right here, and I was like, go for it. Like, but we ended up having a really good night that night. Like, you gave me that poster for Andretti. I remember that to begin with. You were like my ride or die from day one.
Exactly. I was like, you know, I got massive posters, hit you in the face with it, and I'm like, here you go.
She's like, I may hit you in the face.
I may hit you in the face, but that's okay. But my story is kind of similar to Sabrina's. My dad took me to an indie show. I was like, you know, this is what I enjoy. And ever since then, I was like, you know, I live for this. 24/7 wrestling. Well, I don't wrestle, and I don't think I can ever wrestle, but I like sticking my behind on the outside of the ring. Like I may be a manager. Or I'll just do commentary, but leave the hard
I'll just sit in the benches. I am good. I don't want to be near that ring. I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to be a wrestler. I don't want to be a commentator. I will watch.
Well, you're kind of already a ring announcer, so you're kind of in the ring, Sabrina.
I mean, that's different. Ring announcer is different. Like
until you just get like tackled out of nowhere.
I just forgot. I forgot about UCW for a second. Like for a split second, I forgot that I was near the ring. And that I think was the most nerve-wracking days of me and Harley. I was like, we're doing the interviews. What? Oh, in front of people. Like I thought it was behind the scenes thing.
The minute they told us that, we looked at each other at the same time and we were like, what? In front of everyone?
Live.
Like, what? But it wasn't that bad. It was bad.
No,
real
it wasn't
time.
that bad. You guys could have done worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like we could have done worse. Thanks for the motivation.
Yeah, thanks for motivation. Next time we're gonna be like, oh crap, we're gonna be like double nervous. It was already bad enough. Like Harley, I got her like Starbucks and everything beforehand. I was like, you need to eat. We need to make sure like we're staying. I think, and I said, did you eat? She goes, yeah, I ate. 10 minutes later, she shows me the muffin. It's one little tiny bite of a muffin. And I'm like, that's not eating. That's.
But I did eat a bite. It still counts as eating.
Yeah, she didn't lie. It was just kind of.
She didn't lie. It was just right. And almost measured it too. But no, I mean, we're getting used to it. You guys are used to it because like, you've been doing this for so long. Yep. And so it's like me and her, like when this opportunity came up with UCW, I will tell you, she literally called me and was like, girl, I don't care if you say yes or no, we're doing it. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like UCW, baby. And what's crazy is leading up to it, I don't know if you figured this out, but like matches kept changing like constantly.
That's
like Bro Keller was supposed to be there, like so many different things. And I was like, so when walking in, I was like, I don't know who's gonna be here or not. Well, let's just find out. And
actually, pause you there. Those are people on the roster, not people who are gonna be at that show.
Listen.
Thanks, Sabrina.
His picture was just on I'm just showing my stuff here. His picture was on thing. I thought it was the show coming up, you know. I'm not the smartest person with the social media. I don't even have Facebook. Like, let's just be honest.
Missing out.
Who are your guys' favorite wrestlers?
Harley, you can answer this question.
Johnny Moran. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Johnny Moran's our favorite wrestler. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, are we talking about professional or indie?
Yeah.
Both. Indie level, WWE, AEW, so be it.
You know, I'm gonna name Sabrina's because I know her so well. It's Andretti and Cole Carter, and then in the indies it is Mr. Ruda, although he is not a wrestler.
Yes.
He's a manager. And pretty much it. And any heels.
Richard Holiday is one of my favorites.
Sabrina, who are my favorite wrestlers? Let's see if you're a great friend and you know.
Well, I don't know any WWE people because you know me. Yeah, I don't really watch WWE. Some of our favorite indie wrestling. Oh God, Rembrandt, Cosmic, Adina. Oh God, I know. Stop looking at me like that. I named a few. Like I don't know. There's not like one that stands out other than Rembrandt and Cosmic because they're like your ride or die.
You know, my dad goes says because you suck, Sabrina.
Huh.
You know, okay, this is the thing. It's not that I will completely. I only like heels because Andretti's not a heel.
He could be. He can. He
could be. I like Encore. He's not a heel. Let's just be honest. Sabrina's not just a heel person.
Mainly.
Most of the time I am. But like there are very few that like I will root for. Like, well, I'm not gonna name any because right now I don't know any because I'm
like this person, but I can't name them.
Primal Fear? No, like they're heels. But no, yeah, I mean, I like the badassness of the bad guys. I don't know. You guys just come out and like take names, kick ass and take names, I guess. So I just don't know. Harley, what are your other favorite wrestlers that I did not name?
Let's see. We got Vinny from.
Oh, I totally forgot that one.
Team. Forgot his face. Vinny something. Let's see. Jordan Oliver. That is my number one. I love Jordan Oliver. He has a lot of potential. But PPW was like, yeah, we're going to have you once, and then you're never coming back.
Yeah, they do that a lot. They did that with Richard Holiday. And, you know, like, I think that a really good organization that I could see Luca doing, because it's also kind of local, but it's in Philly, is MLW.
I would love to do MLW. That's a goal.
I could see it. Like, I mean, I think that is like a mini WWE for sure. Like when I went to those things, I was like, they had the ramp, they had like the screens. Like I was like, damn, this is like a whole TV show right here. I don't like what your dad said. Just
or Impact are absolute goals for me.
There you go. You know what? Sabrina takes no numbers. Let's just be honest, guys.
I don't see nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
This phone dry, really dry, guys. Really dry.
Okay, if you say so.
Why is your dad calling me out right now?
Oh my god, and Goldie. Sabrina loves Goldie. I freaking hate that man, but not as much.
You know, Brandon, I gotta go. You can take over this podcast at this point.
He's not here, but he could take over. Okay.
You can take over. But no, honestly, I don't have any other questions. I'm tapped
Sabrina,
out.
Yeah, she never comes prepared.
Listen, I was so prepared when we started these podcasts. Like I would have like the list of questions in front of me and everything else. I've just decided to go off rails.
I mean, it works that way though. Sometimes the conversation's a little more real that way.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been told that we're a very laid back podcast, so that's what we're trying to do, make you guys feel as comfortable as possible. And if we get good, because it's not going to stop. It's our podcast. So I just want, again, we're going to wrap up a little bit. I just want to thank you so much for coming on for my birthday. I appreciate it so much.
Of course.
Thank you. Of course, but we're never going to have your little partner, Aaron Roxas. Sorry.
He's scary.
Sorry to break your heart, but we're not. But to the people that are listening, thank you so much for who's ever. Sorry, your dad keeps commenting that I was stuttering. Thank you to whoever reached out to me for my birthday today. It meant a lot to me. Gavin, you're a real one. You're my number one. Thank you so much for watching our podcast. Brandon, thank you so much for commenting because you make me laugh, even though like you're picking on me every day of my life. But thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Who we have? Go ahead, Harley.
On Monday, we have our first wrestler from out of the United States. We have Annabelle from the United Kingdom, which I think is going to be super fun because neither me or Sabrina never seen her wrestle. And then on Tuesday, we have Izzy McCoy from AXW, but that'll be fun. And like Sabrina said, thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming on. And that wraps up today's episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.